Hey folks, Joko here from IELTStemple.blogspot.com. I don't know why I keep saying that. I wanted to do a couple of feedback for students today, and it's just easier for me to talk than it is to write, so that's why I like doing this. This is going to be sort of a commando thing, meaning that I haven't really read the essays before I'm going to give you my thoughts just right off the cuff, meaning, as I'm looking at it for the first time. So let's begin with the question here. What do we have?
In recent years, knowledge or experience.
Oh, good. We included the rubric. All right. Now, keep in mind that it's important. Why won't this go away? That we look at the key words in the question. Okay. What are some of the key words? Right here. Small local. Ooh. Have closed. Now note, okay, they give you the present perfect right there in the question. If I'm thinking that this is a positive thing, I could do introduction and then 2 paragraphs indicating the positives of it. If I think it's a negative thing, I would probably want to say why it isn't a positive thing. Because by saying it's positive, that is reason enough if you're on the positive side. Just like agreeing and disagreeing. If you disagree, you have to say why some people agree. Okay, so, oh look, it starts the exact same way. It's not.
In recent years, it is evident that numerous small-scale shops are closed due to the arrival of supermarkets and shopping malls. Machineries are deployed over manual service.
I don't like the fact that it started the very same way. Well, in recent years is not very hard to paraphrase. Impersonal passive, that's okay. That numerous small-scale shops. This is not a good collocation. So how do I do this? There we go. Okay. Again, collocation means words that go together well, and small businesses, mom and pop shops, small retailers, lots of ways to say it, but small-scale shops, not a good collocation, are closed. My friend, Mr. Noor, look, have closed right there in the question. You should pick up on that and use either small-scale shops have closed. You want to, have shut down, have gone out of business, but you want to use the present perfect, or better yet, when you're talking about time in recent years, we use the present perfect continuous when we want to stress the amount of time. I've been waiting here all day instead of I have waited here all day. Due to the arrival, no, it's the fact that people are shopping there. It says it right there. That's different. A shopping center. Usually supermarkets are often in shopping centers, but they can be standalone. Okay, this is good. Now you are shifting their focus. Why are you repeating the same words? Don't repeat yourself in 2 consecutive sentences. Small scale cost price shops. Very awkward collocation. I don't know what that means. To trendy malls, by which I think by here you think you're trying to say for the reason, or that because. Is that what you mean? Because? Yeah, it must be, but it's not a good connector. Because they feel themselves. How about they feel themselves just advancing, or they feel themselves to be advancing? I'd like to know what advancing means. Advancing in what? And not a clear usage of Lexis. Don't need the there. Reducing employment. Employment is a abstract noun, uncountable. We usually don't use a article with it. Employment. You need some kind of. Okay, that's the end of a. Also reducing employment as. This is really awkward. As in such big malls, machineries. No, not machineries. How about machines is diminishing? Yeah, you don't diminish something. Things just diminish by themselves. Of my fixes to that one. Let's go on to the next one. Okay. And go.
In most of the urban and rural areas we could see that more shopping malls like Walmarts are crowded by people than in the departmental stores. But a decade ago, there were many small-scale outlets which are in fact the source of income for many poor merchants, and low-end laborers who works for daily wages in such shops.
Are vanished?
Thus, this kind of shopping centers put the lives of thousands of shopkeepers behind a question mark.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. So we're looking here we should always start our sentence, our paragraphs, with a topic sentence. Okay. Something that's going to tell us what the paragraph is about. Now, you didn't tell me in the opening paragraph what if you think this is a positive or a negative development. You kind of get the feeling because you have a negative voice about unemployment increasing, right? But you want to be explicit. Okay? You want to say something like, first of all, or one of several negative aspects to this new trend in shopping can be seen by looking at the shopping malls like Walmart and how crowded they are. They have become, by their popularity, they have done a lot of harm. But first of all, this expression here in most of the urban and rural areas. Okay, so an area can be urban or it can be rural. Now, it can be in the city or it can be in the country. And then there's some things called suburban, which is in between, so it's just like housing and stuff. But if it's not urban and it's not rural, what is it? This is everywhere. We could, we need to say we can, right? We can see more shopping malls like Walmarts. I don't know if you have Walmarts in your country. They don't have them here in Myanmar. But it's not a shopping mall. Shopping mall is a lot of different stores. Walmart is one store. Are crowded by people. Like, what else would they be crowded by? Coconuts? Are crowded than. We use than in a comparison. Than in the department store. Departmental, it's department stores. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm completely confused by this. But a decade ago, there were many small-scale outlets which are, come on, a decade ago, were, in fact, we don't need in fact there. Of course, they're the source of income for many poor merchants. Okay. Oh, well, fine. And low-end laborers. Okay. Good try, but what we want there is laborers. Laborers. Or is it ors? Oh, who works? Okay, this is plural. So, plural, we need the singular, the plural, who work for daily wages in such shops. Hey, the Western people might have invented the shopping mall, but nobody's forcing people in developing countries to go there. Because of the Western trend of shopping, the roles of smaller shops are reduced, have been reduced, it happened in the past, drastically. This singular, meaning that is what? Poses. And we need an article, a threat to the lives of shopkeepers, one word, shopkeeper, and merchants, and to their futures, making something worse than it is by saying lives. Now, you can use this word, livelihoods. That's good. Okay? Or to the way of life. That's a good collocation. But a threat to the lives means that the supermarkets are going to kill them. Where, don't need in there, where various shops were running by selling. How about just were selling raw vegetables and fruits in the platform? I don't know why it is, but for some reason in English we always say fruits and vegetables, but never vegetables and fruits. It's just one of those weird collocation things. If I see vegetables and fruits, it slows me down. I have to think about it. Vegetables and fruits in the platforms. Now, living in Asia, I know what you mean there. The platforms at the market, okay? So we would call those, at their kiosks, okay, at their stalls. Platforms, if you don't know what those look like, they won't know what that means. Okay, no. Implementation means the carrying out of a plan. After the introduction of Reliance supermarkets, again, anybody outside of India is not going to know what Reliance supermarkets are, so you have to be more general. And by the way, supermarket is one word. Such. You use that word a lot. Try these. Road shops. Are they selling roads? Roadside shops are vanished, have vanished, and moved out of spots. Do you know where they moved? I don't know where they moved. I would just say have vanished. Whoops, what did I do? And, oh, okay, yes, have vanished, and thousands of shopkeepers. Okay, it's try to avoid idioms or sayings like this, because that's actually not in English. That's not a saying. We don't use that. I don't know. Maybe it's translated. Uh, are now, and the lives and the careers of thousands of shopkeepers are now in question. Okay. All right. So no clear topic sentence. People have lost their jobs. Okay. This is about employment. Yeah, I guess you can look at it in the big picture, but no clear topic sentence. But you do stay to the topic pretty well. And you're describing what happens. Yeah, these are, yeah, okay. One more significant negative cause. Nope. You're exactly mixing up the words you want there. You don't want cause, you want the opposite, which is effect of supermarkets is less, and why do you have a comma there? Is lessened employment. Okay, now here you talked about people losing their jobs and losing their livelihoods, and you're going to have another paragraph about that. Is not lessened, lower employment, since most of the supermarkets can not deployed automated tools, bots, what? Robots. Okay, okay, it's okay. You can say this. You know, I had just yesterday I read an essay where the woman was talking about how the people in Antarctica live in igloos and cut down trees to make their living. Okay, but you know, nobody lives in Antarctica, and there's no robots to serve customers in supermarkets. So employing humans has become no scope. Nope, don't know what that means. How about has become uh, uh, so the employment of humans has lessened. Again, you said lessened before. I said lessened before. Has reduced in scope. That's how you use scope, in scope. For instance, the billing, packing, and serving purpose. Program tools are in usage rather than manual effort. Okay, now you can say like Amazon and a lot of the online retailers, those things, yeah, billing and, well, billing, that's a human, that's a computer thing. But packing, yeah, I can see that. But I have never been served by a robot at the supermarket. So actually, I would then, I'm sorry, it's one too many. I have to call that an irrelevant. It's not a relevant example, and it says in the instructions. Uh, any relevant examples? Okay. So completely made up, untrue things are not relevant. So this is not a relevant example. As a consequence, it and you use this same words already. Don't repeat yourself. As a consequence, it minimizing. Humans. Don't use humans in your IELTS writing. Humans is a science term in a way. In conclusion, oh, hey, look, finally, you mentioned the other side and the advantages. Super malls and shopping centers. It is clearly seen. No, not good use of the passive. At the arrival of supermarkets. Arrival is a singular. So what do we change? What is this? Has replaced the existing local shops and put the livelihood of small-scale shape under risk. Okay, so in conclusion, now let's go look at the question again real quick. Small local shops have closed because customers travel to large shopping centers or malls to do their shopping. Now that is not what you have to prove. That's not what you're supporting. What you're supporting, what you're supposed to support, is your answer to this question. Is this and it's pretty obvious that it's a negative development in your opinion. And you give us lots of negative things. But you never tell us, never actually say in so many words, it's a negative thing. And then at the end, it is clearly seen that the arrival of supermarkets has replaced the local existing shops. Well, yeah, we've said that right here in the beginning. You're not really making a conclusion. Oh, look, livelihood. There's a good word. But your conclusion is the question. Okay? Has replaced the existing local shops and put the livelihood of small-scale shopkeepers under risk. Well, if they've replaced, not under risk. Okay. It's clearly seen that, I'm just going to rewrite this for you real quick. With the arrival of supermarkets and the downfall, the the closing of of low, small, and medium retailers. That's a good one. Not only are the shopkeepers suffering, but so are the numerous unskilled workers who relied on them. Where else will these people work? Okay. Soon we will have a big problem on our hands. We'll have too many people with no work. Okay, you have to explain why something is a negative thing. Okay, yeah. So the shopkeeper goes out of business. Hey, but you know what? 90% of the people can now enjoy life more because they don't have to go into find parking and go into an outdoor market where they don't know what's been sprayed on the food, or it's kind of smelly, and you got to go to 4 shops, and you can't use your credit card, and you have to haggle and negotiate. And fine for people who have, all day to walk through the market and talk to their friends. But you know what? That's not today. Today is a supermarket existence. And you don't address that at all. You don't say why some people think it's a good idea. And a strong essay, one that's well supported, will do that. All right. I'll come back and give you a band score. It's funny how I used to absolutely hate doing this, which was giving band scores when I'm not an examiner, but people seem to want them, so I will do it. Now, in task response, 5 or 6. Fortunately, this question, it only said give your opinion. You didn't have to take a side, but you didn't give your opinion. So, not really anyway. And so I don't know what to say here. Your opinion was obvious, and it was fairly easy to understand. I'm going to go with the 6 because you did develop the point of unemployment enough. Okay, in C and C, you do use paragraphs. Sometimes they don't make sense because they don't have topic sentences. So that puts you at a 6. Okay, in lexical, mistakes in spelling or word forms, no, not so much that. And the ones that do exist don't make it any harder to understand. And then grammar, you use the same structures again and again, and there are quite a few grammar errors. So it's going to have to be another 6. So 6 across the board. All right, good luck to you. I chose your essay completely out of the blue, even though it's 5 days old, because I was specifically looking for someone writing, has this been a positive or a negative development? And you never said anything about that.